Hola, tubers of the U. It's Darth Cobain 17 again. It's been a while since I posted a video because this summer has just blown up uncontrollably. It's been so busy around the house with the pool, and it's been such a nice summer that I just want to spend eat as many minutes outside as you can, and then at work I'm normally slower this time of year. It's our off season, but it's been crazy busy there, and yeah, my son's playing ball hockey. It's just we're everywhere, and but it's been good. But yeah, it's been busy. So but I'm back. I've got a couple things to mention, and I also wanted to mention this tremendous hat. You can see this. My son James made it for me a number of years ago, and they at camp or something, and yeah, they melted all this stuff all over it, and it's glow in the dark too. So we took it to indoor glow in the dark mini putt one time, and my head was like a beacon. It was pretty funny, but yeah, I like to throw this hat on every so often. But anyways, to the task at hand. A couple weekends ago, I think it was, I went down to the Hamilton area to play in a ball tournament with a couple of my friends, Johnny and Megan, and we during some off time we had between games, they mentioned, well, why don't we go to the movies and see the Equalizer 2? And I was like, oh, what's the Equalizer 2? And they're like, you never seen the Equalizer? And I was like, nope. So we were like, well, let's just watch the first one. So I knew, what was going on. So um, the Equalizer, it takes place in Boston and focuses on this older gentleman named Bob, or Robert, who's played by Denzel Washington. He works at a local like home improvement store, like a Home Depot sort of thing, and he's just kind of a loner and kind of mysterious. And the employees all like him, but they wonder, what did you do before this, Bob? And he's just kind of this mysterious guy. And he has problems sleeping at night, and he's very by the book, by the routine, goes by his watch for everything. And every night he goes down to this 24/7 diner where he reads classic literature. And as the movie opens up, I think he's reading The Old Man and the Sea or something like that. But anyways, while at this diner, he kind of befriends this troubled young girl named Alina. And each night he's there, their relationship kind of develops and further and further. And until one night when I think he's going to walk her home, and all of a sudden this car pulls up and this guy gets out and starts yelling at her and throws her in the car. And soon enough, Bob learns that Alina is actually named Terry, and she is a young prostitute owned by the Russian mafia. So her pimp, this guy who's named Slavy, Bob eventually goes and seeks him out at the restaurant that he uses as his front, and attempts to buy Terry's freedom, which doesn't go well. He laughs in his face, as do all of his goons. And Bob makes like he's going to leave, but instead he locks the door and goes on a massive killing spree. It's like corkscrew under the... There's shit and blood everywhere. And it happens in like half a minute in this really cool sequence. So then all this killing is on the news, and nobody knows who did it and if it was a message. And so then obviously the Russian mafia is not pleased. So this guy back in Moscow who runs the whole thing, Pushkin, he sends one of his top guys named Teddy over to the States to work with some of the dirty cops that kind of offer these guys protection, and find out who did it and eliminate them. So Bob soon realizes he's maybe in a bit over his head, but we also learn that Bob has a secret past where he's done some nasty things for the U.S. government. So then it's just kind of this awesome events, just sequences where he's just taken out more and more of these goons, until it all leads to a final confrontation with the big guys, right? So awesome movie. I'm not normally a Denzel fan, not because I don't like him as an actor, but he normally doesn't really do the types of movies that I normally like to watch. But I really liked him in this one, and I must say I really like him bald too. I thought that was a good look on him. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was a pretty awesome movie. So so now I don't know if I'll go see the Equalizer 2 in theaters, but I'll definitely, when I do find it available to watch afterwards, I will definitely give that a watch. The other thing I wanted to mention was this book. It's the second book in the Edge of Extinction series, and there's only two books. It's the last one. I reviewed the first one of that called the Arc Plan maybe a couple videos ago. I don't remember, but it's in there somewhere. So as this second and final volume opens up, Sky Mundy and her friends Sean and Todd have made it to Lake Michigan, as per her missing father's instructions that he left her. And when they get there, they don't see anything remarkable, that any reason why he would have pointed them there. But they do see hordes of dinosaurs along the shores of the lake that kind of impede their progress towards the water. So they eventually gather their courage and run to the lake, but eventually get chased by a bunch of carnivores. And as they splash into the water, they're rescued by a couple of people in a boat. A guy named Dr. Schwartz, an older fellow, and his young research assistant, a young girl named Chaz. So they take them into the boat, and Schwartz seems like a real prick, and he's not happy about the three kids being there. And when he sees Sky's map and stuff, he gets all weird about it. But Chaz is a lovely young girl, and she obviously wants to befriend these other children. But Schwartz is having none of it, and he steers the boat into the middle of the lake, where the three kids are amazed that there's a big research facility right in the middle of the lake, most of it under the water, that they couldn't even see because it's built mostly with glass and mirrors and stuff like that. So they're taken into this lab, this facility called the Lincoln Lab, and introduced to the guy that runs it, Dr. Bosnick, I think his name is, and soon realize that these people are devoted towards the proliferation of the dinosaurs. Not in general, but they've been researching dinosaurs and genetically modifying them to better coexist with humans. And they see a future where both humans and dinosaurs can coexist on Earth, and everything can work itself out that way. So, you know, they're amazed to see what's going on and to see this philosophy. But soon enough, they've been there a couple days, and they've gotten used to lab life and stuff like that. But then the lab suddenly gets bombed with some depth charges from above, and they have to make this desperate escape. And they think Sean's drowned; they can't find him, so it's just Sky and Todd and Chaz left alone on the beach. And it is the compound, the Noah's Marines, that did do the bombing, so they don't want to get caught by them either, because obviously they're still chasing the kids from when they escaped the compound near the start of the first book. So once they get back on land, they meet up with Sky's grandfather Ivan, who was tracking them after their last adventures at the end of the first book, and he helps them escape in a helicopter. And they head to the North Compound, which is where the Noah's headquarters are. And there they have a plan to sabotage him, because they've learned that the Noah isn't this pleasant fellow who's focused on, you know, keeping humanity safe from the dinosaurs and living underground until things sort themselves out. He actually has a plan to nuke the Earth and eradicate all of the dinosaurs, so that generations down the road, the humans can finally pop their heads above ground and reclaim the Earth, which is going to be basically a rotting cesspool because of the nukes. But so they want to stop that from happening, and they have a plan to do so. And when they get to the North Compound, they first have to find a way to blend in, and then they have to find a way to seek out the Noah's headquarters, and then obviously go about sabotaging his plans. So, but once they get there, Ivan gets captured. Things don't go right, and they really have to buckle down to get the job done. So, yeah, it's a really cool book, a really cool series from, I think, a relatively new author her name's Laura Martin. And I thought this series was really cool. It was just kind of this Jurassic Park meets zombie apocalypse, end of the world kind of scenario. And I thought it was really well written and really well done. And, you know, anytime you can read about dinosaurs, sign me up, you know, that's right up my alley. So, And then she's also got a new book out called Float, which I don't think it's anything related closely to the dinosaur thing. It's something else entirely, but I think I might give that one a go as well. So, but anyways, that's it for now. I'm sure I will have more stuff to report soon, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.